that we thought was going to pump the cryptocurrency market came in, but the market's not moving. Why are we not seeing Bitcoin rally? We're going to talk about Nvidia earnings, how that relates directly back to cryptocurrency, and why this might be the first sign of the upcoming bull run. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Let's get into it. So as always, everybody, welcome back. So Nvidia earnings, I talked about this in a number of videos, a lot of expectation around big tech companies. Allegedly, or certainly the sentiment would be that it pushes the market. Now, let's be clear. The Nvidia earnings came in pretty epically, over $30 billion of revenue. That's actually up 15% quarter on quarter, which is pretty wild. Gross profit, 22.6 billion. Net profit, 16.6. So significantly up once again for Nvidia, and earnings continue to be completely strong when it comes to this narrative, building chips that are going to be the next data center chips, etc., etc. Okay, so Nvidia really at the absolute forefront of what they're doing, and there's significant inflows in this. Now, lots of people predicted that a good Nvidia earnings would see us shift the market. Well, here's the Nvidia chart right now after our hours, 125.61. Didn't really respond too much on the earnings amount. Again, very, very little movement. Maybe a little bit of a correction that came in post the announcement and then came back up to hold this. In contrary, Bitcoin, very similar, holding down this lower end under a lot of the moving averages right now. And again, probably quite suppressed around this kind of 59, wicking up to 60K and then dropping back down. So the question is why? What is it that we need to see? Why are people still bullish on these earnings? Well, look, the reality here is that Nvidia did a 10-for-1 stock split back on June 7th. But if you flip that script to crypto, this is where it starts to get interesting. Remember, people looking for that flip as it is. The crypto market tends to move with big announcements of tech companies, particularly Nvidia and many others. These are opportunities for traders to capitalize. And that's ultimately what we've seen with Bitcoin. We talked yesterday about liquidations. We talked about it in my live stream as to where we see market orders coming in. That's why we saw that huge wick down. Whenever you've got the potential big earnings of someone like Nvidia, market sentiment is going to shift. We actually saw net outflows of currency or USDT stablecoin, whatever you want to call it, out of the cryptocurrency market today. We didn't see the ETFs come in significantly and buy. So this could be a repositioning that we saw yesterday that hasn't really come back to the market. Nvidia's, however, strong performance, a good signal for crypto miners. Remember, miners have chips on them. Nvidia making those chips, which will support more economically better miners, efficient miners, and more importantly, high performance computing power that can go into that. So we may even start to see some potential new miners coming out as these data center chips start to build out and the cryptocurrency market gets on the back of it. But a $30 billion in earnings is pretty wild. Why then do we still remain bullish and optimistic on the market? Why are we still in the world that we think the best days yet are still to come? Well, not only do we have big earnings, we saw Bank of Montreal, many others, there's even more coming over the course of the next couple of days. This aligns more positively to the wider tech sector that is getting involved in cryptocurrency. And we've seen this more recently with Sony. They actually moved their Sonium Minato testnet and the developer incubator. This is going to be coming pretty soon. There's some big money being flowed into this layer 2 Ethereum chain. And again, on a back of a big tech company. We know Sony for many products as well as music that it's coming out. And this obviously could be another factor that can go into why we're super bullish. Don't forget, September rate cuts coming, Russia opening up their mining capabilities, all of which aligning to a very, very good news. So when we talk about why would Nvidia potentially be the start of the bull run, well, this shows you market maturity. We didn't see huge volatility where it sits. Yes, we wanted to see a bit of upside movement, but we didn't get massive volatility. This shows us the market right now has long-term holders in, people that are ready for an upside move, people that have already been in, they're in the markets, they're looking for that longer term narrative. And that, for me, is very, very important. It would have been easy to have wicked down to 55, wicked up to 63 as we see some incredible volatility. Simply not the case. A few altcoins having a bit of a move, but for me, this tells us that everyone is pricing in those September rate cuts. Let's see what it does. Equally, people pricing in some of this bullish news that's coming on the back of it. And if you take the whole thing in relative, state, we're only really back as far as the beginning part of August. We actually just lost that big gain on the back of the Fed. Well, I think the Fed priced it in. People took profits, and now we sit and wait for those September moves. So earnings could continue to be pretty strong for a number of tech companies. Bitcoin could continue to hold, but it is, in my opinion, still very early on in this bull market cycle. I'm convinced we are going to 100K quicker than we go to 40K. But let me know in the comments down below, what do you think? Did you trade the opportunity? If you did, check out those links from MEXC and XBT in the chat. Also though, let me know what you think. Is this important? Are we heading to what we think is the big bull run? If you enjoyed this type of content, you want to stay up to date with all the latest in cryptocurrency, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.